The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, Clint here. If you can hear me, just raise your hand and make sure the sound is good. Awesome. Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you, Daria. Okay, it's week 9. Before we get going, tell you right now, being here has its privileges, and with that being said, we are no longer recording these challenges. This week we only had 8 people register. More people are coming in slowly, but the value added for us and the time involved, especially in my case, it takes an hour to render these videos and then another hour to format the new pages and get them up on the site so everyone can read them. Is it's not beneficial to invest that time if the rest of the challengers are not going to make an effort to come in into it, especially when we bring in these great guest speakers that we have lined up for you. So no longer recording them for the website. Now, with that being said, if you are here and you want a copy of the recording, private message me and I'll give you the private link on YouTube. Okay, so now that the admin stuff is out of the way, welcome to week 9 of the 100-Day Champion Challenge. So I have great.
Hey, Clint.
How you doing,
Hi,
Pat?
Clint. Hey, I'm doing great, Clint. Welcome to our number 9, guys. Great to see you here.
All right.
I like that idea, Clint. I like that, and I think the champion challengers who are on this call tonight will totally agree that they are extracting the gold from these calls. We appreciate you being here, and we totally know that you understand that this takes us many, many, many hours per week to put on together. And as Clint says, if we only have 5 people, 6 people, it's wonderful. We love you for being part of the group, but we need people who signed up for it to keep their word and be here. That being said, go ahead, Clint. Take it away.
Okay.
We have an exciting call tonight.
Let's move on. Fat fingers. All right, champions. Daily method of operation. You've seen these before. We'll go through them really quickly. Is the affirmations, meditation, and visualization of your goals. Make sure that you're telling yourself and you're actually believing in what you want, and you will achieve it. Make sure that you're reading 10 pages today. Leaders are readers. You hear that from Ray Higdon. Mike Dillard, Matt Hoverson, they're all telling us leaders are readers, so we need to do that. Make sure you're listening to MLSP's Wake Up Call, the live or recorded version, preferably live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the visualization boards, you should all be finished with those by now, and hope you're planning those and you're putting them in great places where you can see them. And then daily exercise. I've been slipping on this one myself just because of the new job at work. So, but we need to keep up with that and find new and innovative ways to get our exercise. Now, your champion actions for this week is create an article and or a video on what you learned tonight with our speaker, Ms. Pat McKeon, and how you'll implement it within your business. Make sure you put strong call to actions inside of your videos. Tell them to go to your site. Tell them to fill out your forms, etc., etc. Generate 4 pieces of content this week total. That's it. Just 4 pieces. We want you focusing on building your business. Your blog is an important aspect, an important tool of that, but it's not doing you any good if you're not making any money. Isn't that right, Ted?
That's absolutely the way. You got to have money in your pocket to pay your bills.
And for the challenge for this week, the first 3 challengers that sign up a new business partner in their primary or MLSP or Empower Network, or you sell an affiliate product, just take a photo and email it to me. You'll receive a 1-hour private session with Esther, myself, and Pat. And let's get on to our challenge winners from last week. There you go, Pat.
Okay, awesome, guys. I just want you to know, Clint, Michelle James is trying to get in. She says she can't get in, so I don't know what that means. But anyway, that's all good. Guys, you know who I am by now, but just a few pictures there to tell the story. As you know, I was featured as the MLSP Member of the Week. And also, I just want to say, guys, I'm really glad you're here again, Clint. Always an honor to work with you. It's really a lot of fun, actually. Well, anyway, there's a picture of myself and one of the top developers in Panama City. in Panama. I won a weekend stay at a luncheon I went to for real estate, and I won a weekend stay at the Gamboa Resort. There is my kitty cat named Mr. Nose. In the middle is Alexandra, my wife, for being successful. On the lower left-hand corner, you see Ninja. That's my logo that I actually copied. I didn't create it, but it's my logo for Ninja Coaching that I do privately. And one of my favorite achievements is being featured several times in February. I think I was featured 2 times in February, once in January, and that video there, why 95% of network marketers are not making money, is a very, very important subject that I like to talk about and actually like to see remedied in this industry. Okay, so tonight's webinar is going to be about, you might want to take notes on this, but it's called The 3 Steps to Gold is tonight's webinar. Now, these are not numbers I pulled out of the air, just so you know. They're numbers you hear industry leaders speak about, meaning people who make over 6 figures a year. Yeah. So network marketers spend 87% of their time talking to PBPs. That's prospective business partners. I don't like to call them leads, or I like to look at them as potential business partners, because that's what they are. Aren't the people we speak to our potential business partners? 87% of network marketers spend time talking to these business people, to these business partners, about their product, company, compensation plan, and how successful they are. Now, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know that your potential business partner is just not really interested in your product, your company, your compensation plan, or for that matter, how successful you are. They are not interested in that, and that's why you see the picture there in the middle with the tape on the mouth. Now, the 3 steps to gold is so simple, and you know how sometimes they say, well, it's simple, but it's never easy? Well, in this case, it actually is so simple and so easy to execute that it's probably why people, don't master this, because it's almost too simple. What I've noticed when I'm prospecting is the less I say, the more people sign up in my business. Now, that is because through my learning and through my, talking to people, but really reading. You remember Diane Hockman mentioned the book Influence by Robert Cialdini? Well, it really is a textbook. And if you study that book and put into practice, you will find that basically by shutting up 90% of the time, you don't have to do much to get somebody to be on your team. Now, how is that possible? Well, if your potential business partner, let's say client, if your client is not interested in your product or company, how do you get them to say yes? Well, if you can go back into the deeper recesses of their mind and keep it in the forefront of your mind, what they are interested in, believe it or not, comes down to 2 things. And as you could see below, is number 1, if what they want to know is, if I join you, Larry, if I join you, can I leave my job that I hate, and can I do it in 1 year or less? That's what people want to know. And number 2, do you care enough for me, Larry, that you would take the time to train me? In other words, can I do what you do? And when you can truly sink that into your subconscious, those two ways of being, those 2 questions, if I join you, Clint, can I leave my job that I hate in 1 year or less? And if Clint can honestly answer yes, like that's the way he's coming, his energy. It's not like an answer verbally, it's his energy. If the people feel that you care enough, that's what will make them say yes to your business. So keep that in mind when you are prospecting before you even pick up the phone. Next slide, please, Clint. Okay, now the way to open up everything is there are two ways. One is that you could see here the mad brute, who basically clobbers people over the head to get information, and or the more gentle way and more powerful way, and the way that really works is asking personal questions. Now, we've all heard that by the people who make 6-7 figures a year, but how many of us really utilize that? Next time you prospect, guys, really get into watching yourself, hearing yourself. Are you talking about yourself, or are you asking questions? Now, if you ask powerful questions of our clients, those questions, the answers to those questions will lead us down a very clear pathway to asking deeper questions. The answers your client speaks to you, the answers that your client tells you, will have them wanting what you have, and it will have them become your new business partner. So the answers they give you, that they're speaking to you, and you repeat those answers, will actually have them enroll themselves into your business. Now, if you can master that, you will never have to do any selling ever again, because there is no selling. What it is when you ask these type of questions, guys, you're letting people know that you care about them and their success. And as we said on the 2 steps, what do people want to know? That if they join your team, that one, they're going to be able to leave their horrible job or be able to take their wife on vacation, whatever it is, and that you care enough about them to train them. Now, if you have any questions during this presentation, please feel free to put your hand up and Clint will bring you out. So feel free. Does anybody have any questions right now, or any comments for that matter? No? Okie dokie. And also, you guys could leave your questions on our Facebook fan page. Clint, next slide, please. So here's the thing, how to make money. How to make money with this 3-step system to gold. Well, the first thing we have to realize, believe it or not, is that 55% of effective communication is energy. So it's definitely not what you say, it's energy, meaning it's the way you come, like when you pick up the phone, or let's say somebody's calling you, do you pick up the phone and say, yeah, hi, oh yeah, oh yeah, my business is doing great? Or are you like ready for that call? Are you on point? 55% of effective communication is your energy. People can hear it, people can sense it. Are you coming to them as a leader? Are you coming to them as like somebody indecisive? You don't quite know what to do. So that's one step in the how to make money equation of mastering communication. We need to master our energy levels. 38% now is body language. So when you're calling your prospects, I always tell my people, my team, do not slouch down, sitting down. As a matter of fact, you're better off not sitting down when you're prospecting, because when you're standing up, as I'm doing now, your voice, your tonality gets very inspirational. You're talking, it's so many times, like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what I'm saying so much of the time, but yet I'm very effective, right? So how do I do that? It's certainly not because I'm the world's greatest speaker, but it's my tonality. People can tell I'm excited, I'm interested in them, I want to hear about them, and if I feel like my solution is going to be great for them, then and only then will I present my solution. So that's what you want to do. You want to master tonality. How is it you're saying what you're saying is not how you're saying it and the pitch of your voice. moving your hands is very, very important. That's why I recommend you stand up when you're talking to a prospective business partner. You stand up, you're moving your arms. Now, the guy or the gal can't see you moving your arms, but you know what? It comes through that you are in control. You're standing up straight. Why? Because you're moving your arms. Your blood is flowing up and down, up and down. And when you join a business, when you join a primary company, 9 out of 10 times people are not going to tell you these little things that you learn over the years, or you learn from, people who are making money, and then you start incorporating these ideas, and you see that they really do work. And then you could train your people to do the same. Now, the most interesting one is, of course, as you see the chart, that in making money, okay, we go from 55% of effective communication is your energy, all the way down to 7% being your words. And that's why I picked the word cartoon here, breaking the communication barrier. And that's what I meant when I said earlier, simple, simple. If you guys can master this technique here, or this way of being, a philosophy, if you will, if you can master the 55% of communication is energy and tonality, and 7% is words, do you think that maybe you have the opportunity to say less and make more money? And wouldn't you love that? Wouldn't you like to work less and make more money? There is the equation. Now, 7%, if you think about it in school, that's a failing rate. If you got a 7%, that you're failing, right? So it's the same thing with words. Basically what this chart tells you is the less you speak, the better, when you are working with somebody who is looking for a solution to their problems. Does anybody have any questions or comments on that? No? Okay, great. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, slideshow, please. All right, right there. Okay,
I was like,
we
I'm
are
so
we are
confused.
actually yeah, I know. I messed up that slide, but you know what? It's okay, because champion challengers know when I mess up on slides, it's okay, because we just keep on moving, right? Okay, guys. Actually, we do want to bring out our champion challengers, but we are going to hold off on that for just a few minutes, and we'll bring that slide back, okay? And Ted is actually going to come out tonight and talk to us. Okay, so your three steps to gold, okay? Step one. Now, these really are 3 steps to the gold, okay? And again, if you can master these 3 steps and talk less, you guys, all of us, can make more money. Okay, when I say you guys, I mean all of us. We're in this together. All of us can make a lot more money a lot faster with a lot less stress. And 90% of it, guys, is talk less. So what do you talk about if you're going to talk less? Okay, very, very simple. Step one is just remember to build your relationships. Build your relationships with these human beings. So you say, how? Basically, very simple. You show you care. Show you care for the other person. Now, I'm just going to give you some quick ideas here. Let's say you're dialing a 702 area code, and the guy's name is Tom. And he answers, and, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I answered your ad in the paper, whatever it was. He said, a Facebook, whatever. So you say to the guy, Tom, I see your area code is 7702. Is that Vegas? That's Las Vegas, right? Now, of course, you've looked up 702, and you either know it's Las Vegas or you look it up. So the area code is a very good way to break the ice with people, because it just makes them feel comfortable. So, Tom, I see your area code is 702. That's in Vegas, right? Tom says yes. Well, now you have something to talk about, to warm the relationship up, to bring the two of you together, to build that relationship. So you talk for a few minutes about Vegas. What are some of the questions? Well, this is very interesting. If you ask the guy, does he go out to the shows? What is he doing? Like, you go like, Tom, do you go out to the shows in Vegas? And he says, yeah, as a matter of fact, a month ago or 6 months ago, I went to Le Cirque du Soleil. And now he said 6 months ago. Now you open the question, really? How was it? It was great. Yeah. When I was out there 2 years ago or last year, I went to that show too. And yeah, I stayed at the Paris. What's your favorite hotel? Do you see where I'm going? It's like a communication of relationship now. Now you have something in common, and people love when people have things in common. Okay, does that make sense? Um, Now, the next question could be something like, well, Tom, tell me, what do you do for a living? Okay, now that opens up the question whether he loves his job or not. You see, there's a flow. Most people just get on the phone and start yapping away. What if you were to actually write out these questions? Like for example, if the guy you're going to call tonight is in Vegas, hey, do you get out to the shows? Which hotel do you like the best? Do you like the weather there? By the way, what do you do for a living? See, now he doesn't mind answering your questions, which are going to get more and more and more personal because you've built up a nice little relationship. Okay. And again, you're doing it with tonality. You're not like dragging, you're doing it with tonality, with passion in your voice, smile on your face. And believe me, guys, you do this a couple of times, even if you have to fake it in the beginning, you do it 5, 6 times. This is going to be naturally who you are. Okay. So now, okay, so there is a flow. Then you're going to say, uh, he's going to talk about his job, and he's going to say to you, whether he likes his job or not. Most people, not everybody, but most people don't like their jobs. So, what do you want to do with, basically, if somebody tells you you don't like your job, your next question is, well, what is it that you don't like about your job? Well, what I don't like about my job is I'm there like 90 hours a week and I never can get it out of my head. And, I really want to spend more time with my family. You repeat what he has just said. Okay, why do you want to repeat? Doesn't that make me sound crazy, Pat? Well, no, actually, what it does, guys, is it solidifies what he has just told you, and it has him agree on what he just said. So if he says, I really want to spend more time with my family, my daughter's turning 9 years old, I hardly ever see her. Now you're going to say, to that person, to Tom, you're going to say, wow, you really want to spend more time with your family, and your daughter who's 9 years old, you don't get to see her very much as you would like, right? And he's going to go, yeah. What's your daughter's name? Beverly. Oh, Beverly. Yeah, you want to spend more time with Beverly. Well, what would you do with more time with your family? And he says, well, I want to take the family on the weekend outings without worrying, spending all my time worrying about more work. I want to have fun. So when he says that, now this is a guy who, the main thing for him, he just told it to you. He wants to be with his family. So what I'm trying to say here is, when you ask these questions and people, because you've built that solidness of relationship, I don't know what the word is, but the commonness, what we have in common with each other. When you've developed that, now he's going to spill his guts to you. And, it's amazing what people will tell you guys. I'm sure you've had conversations like this. You now know his pain. His pain is that he wants to be with his 9-year-old daughter, and he will do anything to have that be reality in his life, and so that he doesn't get rid of all that worriness about his work. So go to the next slide, please. I don't know why David Sharp can't get on the call either. Wow, what a shame. Okay. So he's now saying he wants to spend more time with his family. Well, Tom, let me ask you, what would you do, if you had more time? If you had more time to spend with your family, what would you do? Would you take would you, so he says to you, well, I'd take my daughter out, I'd take my wife, we'd go out for the weekend, like a weekend outing. And then you say, oh, so you would take the family on a weekend outing, right? Everything in purple is the question. His answers are in blue. So you would take the family on a weekend outing. What would you do? Would you take the family on a weekend outing? Well, Tom, let me ask you, what do you want to, what would you do? If you had more time? If you had more time to spend with your family, what would you do? Would you take my daughter out, I'd take my wife, we'd go out for the weekend, like a weekend outing. And then you say, oh, so you would take the family on a weekend outing, right? Everything in purple is the question. His answers are in black. So he says, yes, that's what I would do. Well, how does that make you feel, Tom? He goes, see, now you've identified his pain. Now you want to make him feel good. And you've had him say yes to his pain several times now. Okay, so you don't want to kill the guy. So now you want to make him get in touch with, oh, that would be so great, man. That's so sweet. Not worrying about my office, now that would be super. Spending time with my wife, man, I would love that. And my 9-year-old, we'd have a blast. We'd go to the park, we'd do this, we'd do that. So now you're bringing him to the sweet spot, okay? Now all this time he's identifying you with that sweet spot, okay? And he's also identifying that he's got a major problem, and you've had him say yes now 3 times, okay? So how does it make you feel not to worry about the office? How does it make you feel to worry about the office, rather? And he says to you, Pat, Clint, Aisha, Daria, man, it makes me feel so horrible. I'm really depressed. Really, it makes you feel so horrible and depressed? He says, yes. I so not want to feel like that, Aisha. I want to be happy. I want to do something I love. I want my family back. I want time with my family. So and you notice you didn't talk much. All you do is ask the powerful question that's going to infiltrate their pain. If we do not get in touch with people's pain and ask them if they're interested in making money, guess what? 9 out of 10 times it won't fly, because they have not identified with their pain. You have to make them feel their pain like it's right there in their hand, okay? And then you have to bring them back to, how would you feel if you didn't have that pain? Oh man, great, super. What do we have to do? Okay? Only at that point should we ever bring up our solution. So really, all that takes about is maybe. Those questions should be wrapped up in 6 minutes. What do you do for a living? How do you like your job? I hate my job. What would you do if you had all the time in the world? What would you be doing? I'd be with my family. I'd be traveling. He's going to tell you, well, how does it make you feel that you can't do that? Oh, it makes me feel horrible. I want freedom. I want my freedom. So he's telling you what he doesn't want. He's telling you what he wants. You have the recipe in your hand. And I can't stress it enough. It's like, ask the questions, shut up, reiterate what he just said. Ask the questions, be quiet, repeat what he said. It's like rinse and repeat, okay? You might want to write that in big letters on your wall before you make the call. Rinse and repeat. Identify the guy or gal's problems. Repeat their problems to them. Have them agree that, yes, this is their problem, and that they hate their problem and they want a solution, okay? They will ask you to give them their solution. They might not say it that way, but they will tell you, I want to get out of this. I'll do anything, At this point, you can say to Tom, well, Tom, let me see. If I can show you a way that you could spend more time with your family, taking them on a weekend outings. Now, see, you got to write notes while you're talking to people, okay? You got to make sure that what they told you, you write it down. Because when he tells you how horrible and depressed he is, and that he doesn't want to feel that way, that he wants to be with his family, and at that point you can bring up your solution because it may be exactly what he wants, then you need to have what his pain is in front of you. So Tom, if I can show you a way where you can spend more time with your family, where you can have those weekend outings, where you can take Beverly to the park and be with your 9-year-old daughter, not worry about the office. Do you see where I'm not inventing any of this? This is stuff he told me. All I'm doing is repeating. Can we lower ourselves to be tape recorders? Because that's really what we're doing. We're recording his pain, giving it back to him, providing a solution. So, how would you like not to worry? about your office. Have fun with Beverly. Have family time. Would it be worth it to you, Tom? And always say people's names, because people, it just makes them feel happy. You know, when somebody, when I talk to people, and, right now I'm talking to you guys, Aisha, Daria, I know, is on the line. Who else? Who else is on the line, Clint? Um, Whenever I say your name, it makes you feel part of that you're being acknowledged, that you're not just sitting there. People care about you. So, getting off track here, but you're telling Tom, look, how would you like, if I can show you a way where you could spend more time with your family, the one thing that you really want more than anything, to spend time with Beverly, your 9-year-old. Would it be worth it to you, Tom? Would it be worth it to you and to your family to watch a 20-minute video? What do you think he's going to say? You better believe the guy, the gal, whoever you're talking to is going to say yes, because he'd have to be crazy not to, because he just told you 4 of his painful points in life. And I don't think people make up their pain in their life. They might make up their how great they are, but they won't. They don't. People, for the most part, if they're suffering, they'll tell you, and that's true stuff. Now, this is not manipulative. This is like really people who make money, who really make money, millionaires, basically didn't do it overnight, but they did it by studying the psychology of what makes people say yes to you. Okay? When people bring up their pain and you repeat their pain and they say yes, you now have exposed that pain. Okay? But you also have a way to bring them into that sweet spot we talked about. So, Tom, if I can show you a way that you could spend more time with your family, or Tom, if I can show you a way where you don't have to work 100 hours a week and you can travel more, because he told you he loves to travel. Don't make this up out of the blue. You got to repeat to them what they told you. Then and only then do you say, would it be worth it to you and your family? Now, if the guy doesn't have a family, he would have told you that. But if they tell you they have a family, you want to put everything into the pot. Would it be worth it to you and your family to watch this 20-minute video? Guy's going to say, yes, absolutely. Send it over right now. Another thing to remember, champions, is that people don't think. It's not a bad thing. People don't think. What people do is feel. So we have the power to make people feel their pain, but you mix it with their desire. So you're giving them pain. You're not giving them pain. You're bringing out the pain that's there for them. You're mixing it with their desires. Okay, so it's like pain, desire, pain, desire, pain, desire. I've had enough pain. I want what I desire. And maybe watching this 20-minute video is going to change the course of my life. Speak less, ask a lot of fabulous questions, close more deals. I promise you, it's so easy that it goes over people's heads. Next slide. By the way, does this make sense to you guys? Does this make sense? Any comments? Does anybody have any comments? No. Okay. No comments there? Okay, great. Let's go to the next slide. I want to bring you the other 3 steps to gold. No, so for right now, let's go to the slide with our champion challengers, where we're featuring. Right. Very good. Thanks, Clint. Okay, well, here's the deal, guys. Before we go on, I would like to let you know that last week we had a challenge, as we do weekly, and a couple of people won, and the challenge homework was whoever was the first person to make money in their primary. Clint, correct me if I'm wrong. It was make money in your primary, MLSP sign up, Empower Network sign up, whatever. We don't care. We want you to make money in whatever business you're in. That was That was the goal, right? Okay, cool. And I think we said the first three people. So we actually had the first four people. It was very, very close here. So, we want everybody to feel like the winner that you guys are. So what was cool about it is we have Marisol Dennis, who it's on Facebook. She got 2 new primary signups. Although Marisol was so looking forward to talking tonight to you guys, but she got very, very ill. As you know, Marisol is kicking cancer, so please hold her in your prayers that she gets better real soon. Our next champion challenger has been kicking butt with his MLSP signups, 6 so far. I think he's been doing this for. He had 2 days on Facebook PPC, so he had 4 out of 7 days, 6 signups, and we're going to have him come out and tell us his little story. Sorry about that. Michelle James got a sign up into her primary, and Daria got an MLSP signups. So we have 4 people, if not more, but these were the 4 who contacted me, really putting in their time and making money this week. Congratulations to all of you guys. And now I'd like to call Ted out. Ted, are you there, my friend? Just so you know, Ted.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Ted. Very good. Very good. Guys, just so you know, Ted is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He was born and raised there. This is a guy who loves computers, guitars, and motorcycles. What is that noise? What's that noise? What's that noise?
I don't know. I don't hear anything.
Okay. It's really bad. But anyway, guys, yeah. So Ted is just killing it here on his results. And Ted, congratulations. You really have put yourself out there since the beginning of this challenge. I've been witnessing your growth. And tonight's your night. Come on out. Tell us basically what you've been doing, how you've been doing it, and just share your little golden nuggets with us.
Well, I've just been really diving into some PPC strategies on Facebook, and so far it's been really working out for me. I know a lot of other people have been having problems with, where they end up driving traffic to on their Facebook PPC campaigns. So I'd like to, I don't know what you want me to talk about as far as like where I'm driving traffic to or how I'm doing it, or...
Well, that's a great question. Because this challenge has always been about making money and talking to people, I know that your 6 people, although you're doing PPC, which is pay per click, I know that you must have spoken to these people, like they just weren't automatic sign-ups, in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. while you were sleeping and you woke up to 6 people, although that would be wonderful. But tell us, so basically, where did you have automatic sign-ups? Did you speak to people? And then, sort of how your conversation went. And also in our training tonight, does anything I said resonated with the way you spoke to your people?
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, out of the 6 people that have signed up, I spoke with 4 of them and, actually got them to join, but 2 of them were actually done automatically. It happened like in the middle of the night while I was sleeping. Just got woke up in the middle of the night with a text message. Boom, you got a new, MLSP sign up.
Very cool.
That's always nice to wake up to.
Yeah, that's a good reason to be tossed out of bed. I'll take that.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, it's kind of funny that you started talking about the thing with the zip code, because that's exactly what I do. The first thing I do is I look at a lead's phone number for a couple reasons, to find out where they live, and then to kind of find out what time zone they're in to estimate whether it's a good time to call them or not, whether I think they might be at work or how they call them like in the late afternoon, that sort of thing.
Very, very smart. That's awesome. Okay, great. And how does the conversation go like for you?
Well, I mean, as you know, you don't want to do too much talking, obviously. I mean, some people, depending on what kind of struggles they're facing, sometimes they just really love to rant.
Yes.
And, and they just really love to talk about how, their sponsor got them involved in this company, and as soon as they got involved, their sponsor disappeared and they don't know what they're going to do, and that's when you can really just kind of just step in and basically save it for them and say that it happens all the time, and kind of just let them know that it is doable. I myself had a hard time with kind of getting a hold of my sponsor in MLSP and in my primary, and it took me a little while longer to get some results than it did most people, because I kind of had to do this on my own. I had no friends, no family, no coaching of any kind. I just kind of look and see what people were doing and just kind of trial and error.
Right. Right. So when you did speak to people, you found that people were very open, basically, to telling you their life story. Yes?
Oh, yeah, for the most part. I tell you what, out of the, I had to call 50 or 60 leads just over the last few days, and I would say that literally, you get a lot of voicemails and stuff, obviously, but there was only maybe 3 or 4 people total that were just flat out, no, I'm not interested. I mean, the majority of people were surprisingly just opening right up and saying, oh, I need help, I just don't know what to do next. And as soon as you get that, it almost sells itself. It really does.
Right, exactly. It really does sell itself. I really do believe, the least we say, the more they're going to join us in our business, whatever that business may be. Now, when you pick up the phone and you talk to these people, Ted, do you come from a point of view that you're there to provide a solution for them?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So you come from the point of view that you can provide a solution for them, but it's not so much about Ted, Ted as a personality, yes?
No, absolutely, you're absolutely right. I make sure that I let them know that I provide the solution for them, as far as not only with because I got a separate portal that I've recently started for people that do decide to get on, that kind of gets a little bit more intricate with more of the technical aspects, with like SEO and setting up WordPress. As a matter of fact, even if I feel like somebody is having a hard time or they don't know too much about it, I will actually buy their domain for them and host it for them, and I will install WordPress for them totally free of charge.
Awesome. Now, guys, you see that a domain costs $9.95, right? Now, I mean, Ted, isn't that awesome? You turn somebody on to GoDaddy and you pick up their domain for $9.95. Do you think that person would ever leave Ted's group, Ted's team? No, because that you showed the person that, a lot of the times, I gotta say this so many times, 80% people sign up with somebody and they never get in touch with their sponsor again. It's crazy. The sponsor doesn't call them back or whatever. They get too busy and they drop out people. So here comes Ted. He's letting them talk, letting them rant, letting Ted is basically hearing them say, I don't know what to do. Then Ted, when you come back at them, do you say to them, look, if I can show you a way to make this happen for you, and then you lead them into the MLSP presentation, for example?
Oh, absolutely. As soon as, like I just said, I mean, it's especially when they're off in that rant, when they're really talking about how they're really hurting, and all they want to do is get their business off the ground. And I mean, it really is. It's just, like I said, it sells itself, and you can just come in there and say, well, look, if I'm able to provide a solution for you, something that's going to enable you to take your business to the next level, while helping you out on the more technical aspects that you might not be familiar with, as far as some more strategic marketing campaigns, is that something you might be interested in? And they always say, oh yeah, absolutely.
Is that something you might be interested in? Or in my case, I'll say, is that something that, like, for example, if they're having a problem with their, it's a family problem, would it be worth it to you and your family? Would it be worth it to you to look at my program, look at my MLSP and how it can help you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically you're asking them questions, having them say yes, because you'd have to be crazy to say, no, I'd rather stick in my problem, right?
And it's basically what it is. It sells itself.
Right, and then it sells itself. So, and then obviously you're going to teach these people how to do the same thing. He buys them a $9.95 domain. They're his friends for life. And that's the beginning of building an empire. And Ted, would you agree that it does take time, commitment, and it doesn't happen overnight?
Oh yeah, it's not going to happen overnight. I've been in MLSP, and part of this is my own fault because I've kind of shot myself in the foot because for some reason I was dead set against calling leads at first. I mean, I've been in MLSP for over a year, and I'm
Hmm.
just now seeing results because I just now started calling leads.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Ted? A lot of people join online marketing, so we don't have to make phone calls. But in the end, that phone is a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, if you're not connecting with your leads, you're not going to do anything. That's all there is to it.
That's it. That's great.
Yeah.
Ted, like I said, it's been just really joyous for me to see you grow from the day one that you came into our challenge, and I'm sure people remember you were doing like 4 blogs a day. I was going crazy. I'm like, man, this guy's tearing it up. But then you got sick, and now you're better, and you're back on your game again.
Yeah, I haven't been creating as much content as I was, but I mean, I was in the hospital for a while with kidney stones, and I was actually in and out twice. But
Mm.
I'm still, and then I started when I got back out, I just started focusing on the pay per click, and then creating the more compelling like fan pages to drive traffic to, and then it started converting like crazy. You know, getting a great click through rate, a very low cost per click, and it's been working out extremely well.
Well, that's exciting. And you know what, Ted? Perhaps, well, as you heard us, Clint, are you there?
Sure am.
Hey, Clint, yeah, I want to give you a chance to ask Ted some questions, but before that, I just wanted to say, Ted, is Clint and I would love to have you come and do a training for the champion challengers. And if, we could get like 20, 25 people back into the challenge, then, we'd love to have you come out and just teach us some of your good stuff. But I know Clint had a question or two for you, but let me just ask you real quick, how much are you spending on Facebook PPC, would you say, let's say on a weekly basis?
Honestly, I would say that since I've started doing it, and this is going to seem really odd, I think I've spent a total of about maybe $70.
$70 total.
Yeah, total. Yeah,
Fabulous.
and it's led to six
Fabulous.
MLSP signups. I think that's a pretty good conversion rate if you ask me.
That's an
That's
awesome.
awesome. That's awesome. And now we'll let Clint take over because Clint is like an SEO master. So, Clint, do you have any questions? Go ahead. Thanks so much, Ted.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
We'll talk about it later. Yeah. Clint, do you have any questions for Ted?
Oh no, Ted and I were chatting it up today on Facebook about TriPro and our differing opinions of it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I got nothing against it. Believe me. I mean, it's obviously great, but it's just there's just certain things out there that some people love and some people it wasn't for me. No.
yeah, yeah. I concur. It's got its challenges. The
Yeah.
financial is probably the biggest hurdle for most people. Um,
Well, yeah. See now, and that's probably one of the reasons why I left. And it wasn't. And believe me, there's nothing. I got nothing bad against it. It's just for me, with being laid off from my job, already paying X amount for this and X amount for this and X amount for this. It's like I couldn't afford to spend another $60 or $70 a month when I was on the verge of getting a car repossessed. It was just like I was just getting really tight for me.
I'm gonna do concur with Pat though. The Facebook pay per click. Like I said, I'm an SEO and I do social media, but the pay per click just goes over my head sometimes. So we would love to see what you're doing, and share the secrets you're willing to share. Obviously, you don't want to be like a replay of Michelle Plescalito. She did all her training on her pay per click, and then everyone went in there and inundated her entire method, and it was useless to her. So we don't want you to doing that, but give us the pointers and send us in the right direction. As that's probably what
Oh,
we're looking
absolutely,
for.
no problem at all.
Awesome, and thanks for coming up.
Very
Oh,
good.
thank
Very
you.
good. Yeah, Ted, congratulations, man. You're really kicking butt. Oh, by the way, you've been on the leaderboards for MLSP now 2 days in a row. You went from number 11 to number 5, right?
Yeah, and obviously, see, that's the thing too. I didn't know how often the leaderboards got updated. At first, I was number 15 as soon as I got a couple signups, and then I completely dropped off. And that was like 2 hours later, I was number 10, and then I went down to 11, then I went up to number 5. So,
Very good. Well, you're kicking butt. I like that. I like watching you do that. And again, as I said, guys, get all these people who registered for our webinar, get them back here. We'll have Ted come out and do a beautiful training. This is a guy who's kicking butt. Get in touch with him on Facebook. Get in touch with him in the Champion Challenger Skype room. Whatever you do, get in touch with him. Build a relationship with him. He's a guy you definitely want in your corner. Ted, thanks so much, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, anytime, Ted. Okie dokie, we are just about finished. So, guys, you have your 3 steps to gold tonight, and you got a lot of meat, so to speak, to really think on. And what I'm offering you tonight is in your 3 steps to gold. There are 3 steps. Obviously, step 1, we went over building relationships. Step 2, how to identify problems, obstacles, and limitations. And number 3, how to provide your solution. You can provide your solution. There are 2 ways to provide your solution. One way works, meaning it puts money in your pocket, and the other way does not put money in your pocket. When you learn how to do these 3 steps perfectly, or close to perfect, I should say, because there's never perfection. It's always close to perfect. This equals giving people what they want and what they need, which in turn will give you very, very, very many, many happy days. Now, just so you know, I will be having a 3-session webinar. This is going to be a private 3-session webinar. So far, I'm only offering it to people in the 100-day challenge. What the webinar will be 3 sessions of 1 hour and 20 minutes. So that's over 3 hours, going over the 3 step to gold in detail with the exact scripts I use, and we will do actual role playing. The guarantee is that you'll master these 3 steps within this 3-session webinar. If not, you and I will work on the steps until you master them. The investment for this over 3 hours of personal training is $29 even. I was going to say $29.99, but it's $29. You could pay through PayPal, Skype me if you are interested. We're going to begin this on Saturday, March 24th at 1 p.m. Eastern. So basically, whoever's interested in this, just send me a side Skype, say, yep, I'm in, $29, PayPal. That comes out to about $10 a session, guys. And I promise you, you will become masters at the 3 steps to gold on what we spoke about tonight. Okay, so with that being said, do we have any questions, Clint? Any questions tonight? No questions, guys. I can't believe it. How can you not have any questions? I wasn't that great. Oh, Aisha Black just got an Empower Network sign up today. Awesome. Go get him, girl. Great, great. Okay, good. You'll be on for next week then. Okay, so no questions. Okay. I find that a little hard to believe, but that's fine. Yes, that's great. I love that. I guess I do really, really rock because you guys must have gotten this 100%, so that's great. All right, very good. So let's go to the last page, the last slide, guys, and then we're out of here. Okay. Clint, take it away, bud.
And then Aisha, your question, will you record the training? Just private message me on Skype, and I will hook you up. And there's the last make money today with Facebook. It's inspired by Ted. We did that photo of Ted. I took his page and Found someone
Look,
who looked
there's
just like
Ted,
him.
right? That's Ted. Ted's doing the seminar next week. There's his bundle of cash. Facebook is how he's doing it. I like that. I didn't even think of that. All right, guys, but we're only doing next week if we have 20 people on because, look, for example, we were supposed to have Ray Higdon on. I don't want to beat this with a dead, whatever the saying is, but Clint, whenever I get these people on, the first question they ask me, Diane Hockman, this one and that one, they want to know they're speaking to an audience of more than 2 people, okay? Otherwise, they can be making money. I hate to say it like that, but that's what's so. So the point is, if I get a Ray Higdon on, the first question he's going to ask me is, do you have 30 people on the seminar? If I say, I can't, I got to be honest with him and say, well, we've been averaging 10. It just doesn't cut it. So I'm depending on you guys to really kick butt this week, promote our webinars on Facebook, your pages, everybody, just promote the heck out of it. So if we have 20 people next week, we'll record it. We'll have Ted out. He'll share some of his Facebook successes and secrets with us. Otherwise, we just can't keep moving this. I know you understand that. So, Clint, you have any parting words tonight?
Yep, and then folks, just for you guys in here, like I said, private message me on Skype. I'll give you the link to the video once I get it up. I'm not putting it on the website. It'll be just for you. And then if you want to promote the webinar, we'll let you know who the speaker is, and you don't have to promote it as a challenge. You just use the speaker's name to get some more people in here too, and that just helps out the entire situation. So thank you all for coming. I really, really appreciate it. Making that sacrifice.
Making that investment in themselves.
Exactly.
Exactly. Clint, I will talk to you during the week. Champion Challengers, you make it a fantastic week. Put some money in your pocket. Go change some people's lives. We love you. See you next week. This call is a wrap.
The organizer has ended the session.